The OnePlus 5T really isn't that old, but it was still overtaken by its shiny new sibling, the OnePlus 6, after just 6 months in the spotlight. Hey there, it's Damien here for 95Google, and here's 5 reasons why the OnePlus 5T is still well worth purchasing. The 5T is still one of a few high-end phones that are almost all metal. Yes, the glass sandwich style does look good, but a metal phone is more to my tastes. It's even more amazing to think that we flipped from talking about metal and chamfered edges to curved glass as a choice for devices in just less than 2 years. That full metal jacket does mean that wireless charging is a no-go, but you get something that feels strong and sturdy. To me, glass, even if it is Gorilla Glass 5, just conjures up images of a scratch magnet and potentially fragile. Dings and nicks are still a worry, but subjectively I'd wager that it's not quite as much of an issue as with a glass device. The machined aluminium body feels amazing when you hold this phone, and I think there's clearly a reason we see Apple stick to the brushed metal finish on their Mac lineup. It just feels expensive right out of the box. Placing the fingerprint scanner on the back of the device is also the ideal place for quick out-of-pocket unlocks. Moving it from the front to the back also allowed to have an enlarged screen around the front, which is also another huge selling point by itself. Despite the OnePlus 5T feeling expensive, it's actually way more affordable than it used to be, especially if you buy used or refurbished. For around 2/3 of the price of the 6 model, you can pick up the 8GB RAM variant of the 5T, and it's even got its own range of colours to choose from too. You're also getting all of that build quality, a great looking 1080p screen for a more affordable entry point than when we saw the 5T first go on sale. To me, that's a hell of a lot of power for the entry fee, even more so when you consider just how lightweight the changes are made by OnePlus's Oxygen OS. To me, one of the most underrated alterations to Android over the past 5 years, Oxygen OS takes all of the best portions of plain old stock, then adds a thin veneer of dazzle alongside some extra usability features. Anything added still feels like a benefit to the user. There's absolutely no unnecessary AR emoji or obviously gimmicky functions that you'll likely only use once. Instead, changes to the stock experience are seemingly thoughtful and useful in the real world. Some obvious software tweaks include a reading mode, a night mode, navigation gestures, and the shelf, the latter being a replacement to the seldom used Google Now feed, at least in my use case. Because these changes require very little resource, the day-to-day experience of using the 5T feels slick, smooth and snappy. Some of that is bound to be due to the RAM, but a hefty overblown skin can lead to unnecessary lag, which can ultimately destroy the enjoyment of a handset, and you definitely won't find that here. The lack of wireless charging actually isn't a huge loss with the addition of the proprietary Dash Charge. Super fast charging that can go from 0% to 50% battery in less than 30 minutes is literally the fastest smartphone charging system on the market. It's so good that no phone manufacturer can actually compete with it directly just yet. Wireless charging is of course a nice thing to have, but when you can give yourself an extra few hours of usage in less than 15 minutes, I think personally it's a fair compromise. The charge brick and the USB-C charge cable are also simply gorgeous. Personally, I think this often gets looked by many reviewers, but it's this attention to these minor details that makes me believe the company really do care about every aspect of the products, even if it's at the detriment of certain features. The notch trend has quickly bridged the gap between iOS and Android, with OnePlus even adding the notch to their own model, although very much tastefully. If you're not a fan of the notch, then this is still the most powerful OnePlus device without the recessed in-screen camera. It means that videos and full screen operation is not punctuated with a darkened portion and therefore ruining your Netflix or YouTube binging session. Instead, the notification bar is more uniform, with no weird splitting of notification icons like found on phones with a notch. Aesthetically, phones just look better without a portion of the display cut out for your front-facing camera, no matter if it does help unlock your phone faster. The rear position fingerprint scanner is also, at least in my opinion, a much superior option. So despite being superseded by the OnePlus 6 after just 6 months, I think personally the OnePlus 5T is still well worth checking out for those that might have given it a miss at launch. To read the full article, then visit the link in the description, and remember to visit 95Google for much more Google and Android related news. Thank you very much for watching, but until next time, as always, I've been Damien, and I'll speak to you later.